and welcome to Not Today in Film. It's our WandaVision discussion. Is that good enough?
Yeah, I think it is, yeah.
Yeah, I'm Dom.
I'm Jay.
Ames. Yeah.
Oh,
I don't know. I don't know what to say about this episode. It was an episode, but
it's built on the ending.
it's built on the ending. I was close to calling this a filler episode because of the fact that
it really is.
Stuff
it's
happens,
so
but it's like exposition almost, like it's set up. You know?
No, it's just a case of the Mondays.
I usually don't like to start on negatives, but Christ, I hated the how they tried to do a sitcom this episode.
Yeah, this is. I hope this is, and this is the last one, and it ended like this. Like, I think the perfect time to have ended the sitcom thing was last week's.
Yeah, they could have done this so well though, but they
Yeah,
just didn't.
like I love Parks. I love Parks and Rec. Like, I think it's I love it. I've watched a bit of The Office, but I don't know. And it's just like I like it how the title sequence goes created by Wanda Maximoff.
Yeah, and then there's also the great like Easter egg that I showed you of.
Yeah.
I know what you're doing.
Oh God. Like,
which is that's a pretty cool thing.
But one thing it doesn't do is that, like, the Office style only worked when Paul Bettany got involved with it.
Yeah. Paul Bettany,
it's his dry wit that sold it. Like, look, Elizabeth Olsen was great in like alternating between the parents of Modern Family and Michael Scott,
but she's just a bit too much. Like it. So what I was trying to say before on why I don't think it worked is because every sitcom character she's been has been her essentially, and this one was just like this one just went out the window, and it was like, what the hell?
Yeah, it's just like. And here's the thing: it's not even that the acting's weird because then, okay, we know the obvious other person who starts changing up how they act, and it works so well because
it does.
it's like a master reveal.
Yeah.
It's just that, like, I don't know, and also the comedy felt like it's the comedy of the others is actually quite genius if you watch the 50s and 60s one, because it's also showing it's making a joke with all the typical humor, but what is the joke? Like, oh, she's changing all this stuff on the magic stage. It's just showing how powerful she has become.
But the problem with this one is like people were saying it's like more of a homage, and I'd agree with that. I think the one thing I've kind of come away from this is it's definitely more kind of it connects more with the Americans as an audience.
Yeah, but even then, I wouldn't even go that far because it's like that. Then why not like Malcolm in the Middle? But Malcolm in the Middle worked.
Well, it worked, but I mean, like this episode, like from the reactions I've seen, Americans seem to be like, "Oh my god, I love that bit," and it's like, it doesn't really matter unless you know, unless you have a kind of connection to it.
Yeah, I know. It's just like
it's a risk they probably knew about, and they were like,
yeah, but that's just another
America's a
thing
big audience.
with the whole Office thing. Like, even take the British Office, which I know is not the point, but like even then, I know from watching a bit of the American one, is that the acting sometimes can get very brutally real.
Yeah.
It didn't get to that. It felt too zany.
Yeah, that's that. She's not like a tragic character in this episode.
And it's the perfect episode to show that she's a tragic character.
Yeah,
the tragic comedy of The Office.
That was it. She does a few little moves where she kind of pulls stuff in close to her and like looks happy, and it's like, what? Like, why are you doing that? Because I've never seen anyone act like that in real life. It's just a bit weird.
Mm.
Like, I get why, but it's just it's just a bit off.
So yeah, and I didn't really like Vision's subplot. Like,
What
it's
a
just
he does nothing in this episode.
yeah, like
Like, why is he in character? Why does he act like, when he's talking to the strong man?
yeah.
Why is he in like an act? Why is he doing that if he's not under control? It's just a bit
Who's under an act?
Vision.
Oh,
Like, because he's like, oh, I can't hear you, and he's like acting. It's like, mate, you don't really need to do
that's
that.
also
You
another
could
thing.
have
They
just
didn't
left.
even utilize the whole interview aspect as well as they could.
Yeah, they could have used it a lot
Like,
better.
they do the whole halfway through, but is this what you deserve? And you say, oh my god, they're actually gonna really like, and they don't. But okay, we'll ride on about that. But there's nothing much to talk about Vision at all, other than he was paired
Vision.
with Darcy.
Right. I think a lot of people have said it. Monica, Darcy, and Jimmy are like the best kind of team in this,
Yeah,
like group of characters, and I'd agree with that. But I think that we're now waiting for them to reunite.
yeah,
Like, Jimmy's he's an anchor, I'd say, of this series since he kind of came in.
yeah. I think this is like in Ant-Man, he's a bit of a joke, like a jokey character. But in this, I actually think, oh my god, like this is just a cool character. This is a new Coulson. He's a new Coulson.
Oh yeah, but the thing is, he's like an onlooker. He's a kind of like more innocent guy who is realistically a representation of the
Yeah,
audience.
Agents of Sword. Um,
Yes,
that's yeah, and
with Coulson.
I think when Monica goes through the hex, um, that's the best scene. I think, bar the
Yeah.
end.
Right. The only issue I have with that is, why does she hear Captain Marvel if there's supposedly some like bad blood?
Because she's hearing everything that's ever been important to her. She might
Oh
not
no,
have
but
bad
it's
blood
like
with
it's the last one.
she no, but she hears Nick Fury. She hears her
Oh,
mum. She hears. I think does she hear
the
Thanos?
Doctor. I'm not sure. She hears the Doctor saying your mum died.
I think it's all the defining moments in her life, whether she likes
Yeah.
Captain Marvel or not. That's a defining moment for her, and I think she does. She's just more. She's just not. She's a bit unhappy. You know what I'm trying to say. Like
Yeah. Bit
it's
miffed.
not. It's not like I hate you. It's more. I
I
really do
don't
not like. I don't
not
like the
like you.
idea of of this right now. I think it's more one of those sort of things.
But let's put it this way: uh, she's gonna be damn powerful.
Yeah. If she can hold off on Wanda,
But do you know the interesting thing there, right?
yeah.
She's she's weirdly not using her powers. Like the first time
No.
usually when a character gets their powers, we have the oh my god, my powers. Let's have a look at what I can
Oh
do.
God, I'm messing up.
But she doesn't even do that. She just turns them off straight away and like gets on with her mission.
Yeah. I
Which
sort of like that because okay, let's just
yeah, because honestly, I think we're gonna get a lot more of her powers in Captain Marvel, which is
yeah,
good.
yeah.
And really, it's I mean, we all knew she was going to get her powers in this.
Oh yes, it was obvious.
Yeah, it was just uh, one of the certainties, I'd say. Agatha Harkness was probably another one because I mean, Agnes, like,
Yeah.
it was either going to be a bait and switch or her. So
And I still think because here's the thing, we're only 10 minutes in, we're already talking about the ending. Um,
but yeah.
yeah, I think she is the villain. I think
All right,
next.
I'm gonna impart some comic knowledge again.
Oh, go
She
on then.
is, uh, so she is known for work with Mephisto, essentially.
Yeah.
So
And Ralph got a mention again.
Yeah, but I don't think she's working with Mephisto unless he's a like part of uh, Dormammu or
Yeah,
Nightmare. So, yeah. And right, Dormammu is kind of like he has to be in Doctor Strange too. I feel like
yeah,
in some way. However, I could see Mephisto being the main villain.
yeah,
Like,
because we still don't know the allegiance of Evan Peters.
I mean, he's a bad guy.
Well,
It's
because
pretty.
even she said he is not your uncle.
No, no, I mean like Agnes, Agatha using him, and
Yeah,
it just I don't know. It's just so hard to talk about this episode because it's just so like it
it's such a
happens.
it's not nothing burger. It's just not a lot happens for the amount of time it goes on for. Like
Like yeah,
the 80s episodes, you can talk about so much.
I rewatched this episode literally just before we started talking,
Yeah,
and it was over before I'd even really like realized. So it is so quick, which is
yeah,
it's not bad, but you know it is one of those where it's like
yeah.
this could be one that you kind of I would maybe even skip parts
I
of it.
wouldn't skip it. I would just like, okay, gotta get through this one before the other two. Next
Yeah,
step.
yeah, I know, but like some of the parts are just a bit like, eh. Like
Yeah,
Vision
this
and
is
Darcy, just
nothing inconsequential happens. It's just very little consequential stuff does.
yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's just I
Oh, and
don't know.
the whole talk between Monica and Jimmy about what's Hayward doing. It was almost like they were telling us what we kind of already knew. Like no one thought he was looking at Vision to make him like better. You know, he was
No.
trying to make a weapon, so they were basically just. It was like it was
Yeah,
almost like exposition, but not really because we didn't know it already.
yeah. And
Which,
we know that Nexus is a big part, and it comes after Yo Magic and Nexus. So I think Agatha is using her a depressed magic being to her advantage.
yeah.
That's clearly what's happening.
Do right. Do you think we are gonna get any more commercials, any more ads?
No, I think we're done. I think they are running in parallel with with the sitcom. I think sitcoms are
See,
over. We didn't get
see.
one in episode 4.
I know we didn't, but we have. We know there's a section coming where there's gonna be like, you know, a fight,
Oh yeah,
and we're kind of assuming it's gonna take place throughout the whole like sets and all that.
yeah.
So I'm kind of thinking like, what if halfway through they go through an ad?
What
You know, they're
they're like
in
we're
the
watching
ad.
the B-roll, watching the B-roll, and it's just like
Yeah,
and it's just like, oh, what are you doing? We're trying to act in, and it's just like they're getting thrown out.
just because I feel like it's gonna have to be like properly, almost Doctor Strange esque. It can't just be throwing stuff at each other.
No,
If it's magic,
this has to be huge.
like I think this has to be like warping stuff and like
Yeah,
properly
yeah, because
visually
everything's been
stunning.
very, even though it's a massive red wall, Wanda's wall.
It does not look good, to be fair,
Yeah,
on some
yeah,
shots.
with Wanda's wall. Uh, do you get it?
Wonderwall, yeah,
Yeah. Genius. Um, everything's been quite tame,
yeah,
but we know there is an underlying power here, like huge.
yeah,
And I don't know. So I think obviously the whole series up to now is saying who's in control of the hex. It is Wanda. Who's in control of Wanda? I think it's not necessarily she's being controlled. She's more being manipulated. Not manipulated, used by Agatha, and I think it is to access the multiverse.
yeah. I could see the like the multiverse being kind of not fully kind of like, oh, and now we have a multiverse. I could see it
No,
being like
we're breaking it
started.
open, we're cracking it
Yeah,
open, but it's still just a crack. Like
yeah. It, Doctor Strange has multiverse in the title,
yes, I
so
because I think it'd be as like Secret Invasion could lead to very crap writing if you did it wrong in the MCU. Oh look, Rhodey has not been Rhodey for God knows how long. Do you know
that
what I mean?
would be a funny one though.
It will because of the casting change, but
Yeah,
but
but
you know what I mean though, don't
nah.
you? Like you know that like sort of like um
Um, what? Who? Oh
Tony Stark wasn't Tony Stark, he was a Skrull. Like it's just
no.
stuff like that. Like that would ruin it, wouldn't it? But
See,
but
they did like Secret Invasion. It says like following a team of Skrull agents on Earth.
see
So
that
it's
that's
like
what I think they will do. But what
that
I'm
sounds a
saying,
bit more like spies or something.
yeah, because it is a sort of. But what I'm saying is with the multiverse, you don't just want to crack open first, and then it's all seeping out, and then it means nothing's really important because oh we want our character back. Go into the multiverse, go and get them. It's just like
Yeah,
what like. Come on, this isn't the CW. Come on, we're doing the things properly. It's gonna be
I
it's
would
gonna be
love it though
meaningful. It's gonna be
if they said
meaningful.
there's some like multiversal kind of constants. So a bit like the Monocle Man in the comics, where he's literally the same in every universe.
Yeah,
And they did that and said like Wanda's one of them,
yeah.
and
I
so
think that's the
is
case with
J.
this.
Jonah Jameson.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just like
Just random people and be like, yeah, they're the same in every universe.
yeah, because the contract
Just
says so. Um,
yeah.
I don't know. I think that's what's going to be the case. Like, I don't want to see. I think the X Men, the whole she's going to create X Men thing is done. No, she's going to create mutants. I think that's dead in the ground now. That's clearly not
Um,
happening.
yeah, I would say yeah because the whole idea was like, oh, the she's gonna like blow up the warp or whatever she calls it, the hex,
Yeah.
and then it's gonna like create mutants and like what? But it just doesn't
No,
make any sense.
but the reason why Monica's got powers is because she's gone in and out of the hex 3 times.
Can we just have Jimmy go in and out
Yeah, but just
six
because
times
Darcy's in it, because here's the thing, I don't think it's going to be a case
of
of
everyone?
passing through the hex. I think it's going to be the walls break down,
Yeah,
so no one gets manipulated. It was only Monica because she was the only one who traveled between the two realities multiple times.
I do think that the one that interesting thing was when Monica like like kind of not confronts but approaches Wanda,
Yeah,
everyone else freezes.
they do.
Like in the background, there's a person walking and they're frozen. So it's like,
Yeah, it's like
I think
her
that we're gonna
focus
have
is
some who might be like they might be dead people. Who knows?
yeah, and I think it's going to be a case like that mailman, that UPS guy is clearly someone important.
He's been in so many episodes.
Well, a post he has, I would assume they're all the same person
I
because
think it is.
he has a rabbit on his cap and he has a presto on his shirt.
I don't know. This is just the episode. Like
It's the
I
episode
I
before the
was so
finale. Too.
I was so hyped for this episode
Yep, I think a lot of
because
people
of
were.
how much they said about like oh yeah, there's like this mystery engineer,
Yeah,
and then and the thing is, I would have been like probably equally as like not disappointed, but like if it had been like John Krasinski as Reed Richards.
yeah,
It just doesn't that like that wouldn't matter to me.
yeah. I mean, yeah, it's nice to have your fan theories and like, but like, I don't want. I'm not. I'll be against it, but I feel like you only get John Krasinski if you can get Emily Blunt, and you only get Emily Blunt if you can get John Krasinski. You don't just get one of them, you get both of them. That's the
But
thing with the fan cast.
even then, I think no name actors or near no name actors is probably a better idea now.
Yeah, I don't know.
But
Honestly, it depends who wants it and goes for it.
yeah, but anyway, that's a
Like,
conversation for another day,
yeah,
isn't it?
yeah, John David Washington for Reed Richards.
No.
the only person I will accept. And I'm
Ian
just as
McKellen.
bad as John Krasinski one, if you want John Krasinski. But you know it to be true.
Yeah. Anyway, what have you got anything else you want to say about this episode?
I hopefully this is the calm before the storm, and I think it is. Going off the ending, it very much feels like in how Agnes is, and it doesn't feel out of nowhere either. Like she sells it.
Yeah.
She killed Sparky too.
Lol.
But I think we're obviously going to see her history, and I think it's going to. Ralph clearly is it. They're using the American name for Ralph. I bet he's called Rafe in Europe. I think he's and that means wolf. I think in like
Yeah.
Icelandic, uh, in Iceland Nordic.
I
So
think we could have Ralph, like whoever he is, introduced next step. Not joking, but I wouldn't be surprised if like they could pull a thing where it's like, oh yeah, Evan Peters is playing Ralph,
mm,
and it's magic that he's been using to run fast and
Paul
look and like.
Bettany just keeps on saying we have not had it yet. So I think it's an end of season thing.
I don't think it's gonna be end of season.
Yeah.
I think that it's not a Luke Skywalker cameo.
No,
That's what people have put it up to. I think it's gonna be
I think it's gonna be a good one. I think it's gonna be really
yeah.
good, but it's not.
I think it's gonna be next episode we're gonna get it, and
Yeah.
then that character's gonna be in the finale, and it's gonna like set the character up.
How we thought this episode would have ended,
Yeah,
even though it
basically.
did, even though it technically did. Yeah, I can see that. I just think now the closer we get to the finale, I think the cheaper it would be to do it.
Yeah.
You don't want to rush it. You held
That's
off
why I
this
think
long.
next episode is gonna be like not even a cliffhanger. I don't think. Like I think it'll probably be in the episode.
Oh, like right in there because I'm thinking now
Yeah.
like the Wanda flashbacks cannot be that long.
No.
I think if they
Especially if Aaron isn't in it.
oh I was so convinced he'd be in it, but honestly now I don't think he will be. Unfortunately, still a chance, but I don't know. But who?
I could see voice maybe, but that isn't really, that's not it, is it?
Yeah. I don't think Doctor Strange in it because I feel like for the magical side of it, you just take away from her. I
Well,
think that's push bets.
it's like I sent you the other day about how I feel like we're going to have a bit of a recap at the start of Multiverse of Madness because
Yeah.
it's going to be next year, isn't it, or something like that. So
Yeah.
people are going to have forgotten like what happened in parts.
Yeah, because I think the only thing that Multiverse of Madness will recap is the ending, and I do think it's going to be a big, big ending. I think it's going to. I don't think she's talked down. I do think it's going to be a bittersweet ending. I think it's going to be a gut punch, like a proper gut punch. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway,
Anyway,
that'll do it for this discussion thing. See you next week.
see you next week.
Subscribe and stuff.